of America, right? But what is the culture? Bro, let me educate you. Every culture starts from a language, a tribe. Every tribe have a language. What is it? Apart from English, what other language do Americans speak? The black Americans. The Mexicans in America speak Spanish. They have something they speak outside English. The Asians the Chinese, everybody speak their language outside English. What do you speak? What is the trace of your culture you're talking about? What is American culture? I want to know, what is the black American culture? I keep hearing this culture. Bro, the black Americans are the culture, maybe baby mama culture. You know, baby single women having 3 kids. That's probably their culture. Or the numbers of the highest incarcerated black young men in America. That's their culture. I don't know. Is it the pim culture? The gang banging culture? Is that the culture? Bro, the black American culture is about wearing, let's say, wearing the Nikes, they want to be on the trend game, you know? These are the culture. But I don't know why the black Americans feel like they should be the center of black people around the world, or they should be the face of black people around the world. Why? Bro, you can have your face. See, you don't even have to declare yourself that you are not African, you are not African American. Bro, nobody give a flying damn about what you think about yourself. That's your own opinion and your own mentality, your own narrative of everything, how you are. That nobody cares. But bringing all your fights about Africa, bro, I don't get it. You talk about culture every time. What is the culture? I want to know. Genuinely, I'm asking. The hip hop. You want to say the hip hop? The music is your culture. I don't get it. Eminem is not black, but he do more hip hop probably than the black Americans. I don't get the culture you're talking about. Maybe because you guys dominate the basketball, the sports game in America. You guys dominate. Is that the culture? Sport is not culture, bro. Let me educate you. You don't have any language you speak outside English. You don't have a tribe. Culture has traces. You don't have any culture. But you always say culture. Bro, you don't have culture. Your culture is about dressing, looking nice, and wearing Nikes. They will tell you that they have the Nike. Bro, Nike is owned by a white man. I want to educate you on that too. The Nike is owned by a white man. They will tell you, hey, Michael Jordan.
I'm always very intrigued by African Americans or foundational black Americans or whatever you guys call yourselves these days. And I don't mean that in a snarky, sarcastic way. It is what it is. You guys are trying to find your own identity. I'm not a part of that. But with this whole Tyler thing, you say we black Americans are the culture and the blueprint period. Tyler's a musician, you know, and someone actually just explained it very eloquently, much better than I'll explain it now. The fact that with us, we'll dance and do amapiano. Tyler will sing her songs. We'll have all this pop music going on, but that's not culture to us, you know. Culture to us is something very sacred, and somehow I still find it very odd, very bizarre that African Americans or foundational black Africans, some of you, I know it's not all of you, some of you have taken on the mindset of your oppressors. You know, it's a very bizarre thing. You've taken on the imperialist ideologies or the imperialist mindset of your oppressors there in the United States. And it's showing in how, or in the contempt that you guys have for Africans outside of of America, or Africans on the main continent of Africa. You know, we are essentially brothers. You guys are our brethren, but there is something very odd in the way that you guys want to act superior to us on account of you being American. It's very odd. But yeah, I have no problem with African Americans or foundational black Americans, whatever you guys call yourselves these days. I really wish you guys all the best. But again, I ask the question, why does Tyler always manage to trigger you guys so much? I haven't gotten an answer.
If you've ever heard the phrase that black Americans do not have culture, or you've ever said that black Americans do not have culture, you are misinformed. 1, 2, you're a liar. 3, your perception of things is probably off. Because every time I see people say this, it's usually in juxtaposition to other places like that are not America. And I'll be the first to tell you that Yeah, in juxtaposition to these other places that culture has existed in for several hundred, if not thousands of years, yeah, I would imagine that other places exude a particular culture. But you have to also understand that that is wherever it is, whether it's Europe, the Middle East, Africa, even the Caribbean, down here in the Americas. These are old world cultures or old world based cultures with old world beliefs and value systems. You cannot compare America, that is a newer country, to these old world countries with their old world cultures and value systems. We have an entirely different thing here. The United States as a whole is a country, is a big landmass, first off. So black culture looks different by region of the country. And I think that's the dissonance that people have with it. It's not centralized. I'm from New Orleans. Black culture in New Orleans looks different than black culture in Mississippi. And that looks way different than culture in Atlanta or in Texas or in LA or California rather. And that looks a world away different than black culture in New York. Are there things that connect us regardless of what region we're from? Yes, of course. But to say that black culture does not exist in this country, that's just you don't know enough, or you don't care, or you are participating in white supremacy. I mean, it's using one of those three. Because black culture is such a wide and colorful array of things that people try to minimize it to just like, oh, this rap and hip hop thing. And it's not it.
Oh God. Oh God. It's so sad. It's so sad that someone that cannot properly address himself in simple, correct English. I know my English is not good enough. I understand that my English is not good enough. And sometimes I misuse is for that. Okay? But seeing this person, I am 100% better than this person because to some certain extent, I study histories, people histories, before coming out to talk. So when I see some Africans, Nigerians, especially because I am a Nigerian person, but I'm not literally going to support this bad attitude of you having the audacity to say Black Americans are a product of, giving birth to 3 children as a single mother, pupilling east, west, north, and south, committing atrocity, gang, only what they wear is Nike and the rest of that. I feel so irritated that this guy is literally from the country where I was born and bred up. Because looking at the person that is talking, you should know simply that this person has no clue. And you know the funniest part is that Black Americans will literally not even say that. There we have what they will be running with. Later come to blame it on Black Americans. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in this episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. With that being said, let's roll out the other parts of the videos that I have. I'll come back and wrap up with this video. I have a lot to say, so stay tuned.
You want to know what pisses me off? When you hear that Black Americans have no culture. That is the biggest lie in the world, because the world mimics everything that Black Americans do, from our fashion, from our hairstyles, from our music, from the way we talk, our vernacular, from the way we walk, the way we move throughout this world. Everything is shaken up because of us. The civil rights movement helped all nations that have people of color. We're the prototype for that. Everyone that comes to America to live, you wouldn't be able to live in America if it wasn't for Black Americans fighting for the rights to be equal to others. You know, it really pisses me off because for them to say we have no culture, we are the culture. We are the standard of culture. We have everything. We've invented most things that most people use in their daily lives. And for the lie to be told that we have no culture, that we have no defining culture within us, we are the culture. We are the standard of culture. I need for everyone to choke on a brick for thinking that we are not cultured people. We are very much cultured people. Everything that we do is mimicked by everyone, from the lightest and brightest people to the people that are that try to be like us. In Japan, you have people that are purposefully making their hair afro. In America, you have people that are purposefully taking our hairstyles while we are reprimanded for wearing our natural hair. We are the standard of music. We developed every genre of music except for reggae and African music. We are rock music. We are punk music. We are country music. We are hip hop, R&B, and we are bluegrass. If you dig into the crates of history, we are everything. Everything has been taken from us and we are told that we have no culture. However, we are the standard of culture, because if we were not the standard, then why is it that everyone is trying to beat us in every realm of the world? Let's keep it real. All you people out here that's telling us that we are not cultured, you're just jealous because we invented most things that you could never imagine to invent. And the saddest part about you won't give us our props. Give us our props. We are the standard. If we weren't the standard, then why are we being mimicked all over the world? If we weren't the standard, then why is everyone trying to take a piece of everything that we have developed, invented, and that we have brought into the world? We are the culture. You would have no culture if it wasn't for us, because guess what? You mimic everything that we do. If we were not the culture or not the standard of culture, then why does everyone want to try and pretend to be who we are? Why does everyone steal what we are, steal who we are? Y'all need to check yourselves. We are the standard of everything.
And to the African man who said black people don't have no culture, come to the front of the room because you about to get read. Now, this is the problem, and this is the thing. I will never understand when African people come to America and they want to sit and talk down about black American people. You are a black person in America now, honey. Do you not know you looked at as the same way as black Americans are looked at by the masses and the majority? Do you not know that? But obviously they don't. In order for somebody to say that black Americans don't have culture, they obviously don't have any common sense, in order they have any sort of sense. Because all you have to do is look around and look at black culture. Black American culture dominates American culture, okay? Let's get into this. First of all, there is nothing that Africans have that black Americans don't have as far as culture, okay? Africans have dance, black Americans have dance. Africans have religion, black Americans have their own way that they practice their religion. Africans have their own food, black Americans have their own food. Africans have their rituals, black Americans have their own rituals. Okay, we're not going to get into this whole thing about black people not having any culture. And where in the world did this come from? I don't understand, because a lot of the Africans that I know don't even fool up with black American people like that to even know what they do. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. First of all, black American music. Black American music, jazz, blues, soul, R&B, hip hop, country, all of these black Americans have revolutionized. Rock, all of them, they have influenced. All of them, they have come and they have conquered. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, what are you talking? Rap, whatever, all of that. Black American. Let's talk food. Not only because the first thing you think about is soul food. Okay, first thing you think about soul food, but you don't think about Creole. You don't think about the Carolina foods. You don't think about all of that. Dance. Look at the dance the African Americans have. Dance. And I'm not just talking about hip hop. I'm talking about jazz. I'm talking about ballet. I'm talking about liturgical. The way African Americans practice their religion.
That's different from any other religious practices in America. The way they pray, their churches, the way they come together, the HBCUs, the culture of the HBCUs, the bands, the battle of the bands, the Divine Nine, the step shows. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The cookouts, the barbecues, spoken word, the poetry, the fashions. Let's talk about the fashions. Let's talk about the hairstyles. Let's talk about the cars. Let's talk about the vernacular, the way we talk, the way we speak, the way we interact, our swag. All of that is culture, honey. Like, I don't understand why they want to say that, but I think I do understand why. It's this colonized mindset. It's this mindset that you feel like the majority is better. So you look down on our culture. But just like that over there, the way when you were colonized over there, you look down on your own culture. You look down on your language. So you try to stop speaking it. You look down on the way you act. So you stop acting the way you did. You look down on your religion. So you stop doing your traditional things. Like that's all what it's rooted in is colonization. And also too rooted in wanting to be completely away from what is black to align what the majority is. That's exactly what it is, because there is no way that you can sit back and say that Black American people don't have culture, because this country was built around Black American culture. It was built around our blood, our sweat, our tears. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, there's always going to be ignorant people. There's always going to be people who don't sit back and try to acknowledge the greatness that is being Black American, how the culture, like the influence that it has, how much of our culture has been stolen by the masses and projected out like it was an original thought by other groups, when in reality it was our stuff. Every fiber of this country, all of its culture originated from us. So please, sir, have several seats, because you don't know what you're talking about. Have a good day.
All right, immigrants, let's come to the front because I want us to have a conversation. A couple of weeks ago, Kai Cenat made a comment about how supposedly African Americans don't have any culture, and I think it's time we talk. I'm an immigrant myself. I was born in the Caribbean and raised in Europe, and I've been here in the United States, living in the United States since I was about 13 years old. But when I was a little girl, I would come and spend either part of the summer or the entire summer here with different family. And I began noticing like little comments here and there early on, but I think when I was 12 years old, is when I finally began realizing that there's something really messed up on how a lot of immigrants talk about African Americans. So my dad was very, very successful for a very specific chunk of time, and he lost it all eventually, like by the time I was like 16. But when I was growing up, he was definitely amassing more and more success and money. And so we moved, and by we I mean him, his wife, my step and half siblings, and then myself. When I would come visit, we were living in a decent house that was a bit small, in a neighborhood that wasn't, I wouldn't say it was the hood, but it was definitely a bit run down, lots of potholes, unkempt front yards type of deal, just, smaller houses, etc., etc. And when I turned 12, when I was 12, we moved to a nicer neighborhood. This neighborhood had much bigger houses. It had very nice, very nicely kept lawns. The streets were very beautifully kept. Everything was super, super nice in this new neighborhood. And it was clear that we were moving on up, right? And so my father hired day laborers, migrants, to come and help us with the move. And I remember sitting in the back of the pickup truck, and I remember listening to the men talk, the migrants. These were men from South and Central America and the Caribbean. And they were talking about the people in the neighborhood, and they were talking down on the people in the neighborhood. And I was very confused for a number of reasons. So the people in the neighborhood were all African American. As far as the eye could see, all the way down, it was all African Americans. And it was clear that this was like a generational neighborhood. Like, it was clear that there had been families that had been here for years and years. And obviously this was not my first time in that neighborhood. Like, when they bought the house, we would come and check out the house and like go around the neighborhood and stuff, right? So it was clear that families had been living here, and it was clear that they had built this neighborhood to be what it was. They were the ones that keeping it as nice as it was. And again, nicer houses, bigger houses, etc., etc. And so I was very confused from the sense that, A, we had just gotten there. Like, literally, we weren't able to afford it before this, and we had just gotten there, and like, there was no room for us to talk down on the people that clearly built this. And then on the other hand, the day laborers, the migrants, mind you, this is no classism shit, because I myself was very poor for most of my childhood. My dad had money, and I only experienced money when I would come and visit him. Other than that, I was broke. My mom was broke, we were broke. And so this is no classism shit, but the day laborers, I was also very confused with them, because it was very much like, can you even afford to live here? They built this, and they've been here. You can't even afford to live here, and yet you're talking down on them. And this feeling of like, we just got here, and y'all are talking down on them when they built this to begin with, has been a pervasive, persistent, ongoing feeling for the entirety of my time here in the States. I've been here for basically 20 years now. I'm in my mid-30s. And I have been so annoyed by seeing this over and over and over again for a number of reasons. First of all, because you wouldn't be able to be here in this country, period, if it wasn't for African Americans. Not only because they built this country on free labor, literally built this country on free labor, but also because through the 1910s and the 1920s, the United States was passing act after act after act that was forbidding us, migrants of color, to come into the country. The acts that they were passing was forbidding Mexicans, was forbidding Chinese folk, it was forbidding any migrant of color to come into this country. And it wasn't until the civil rights movement, until African Americans literally put their bodies on the line. They got mauled by dogs. They got shot by water cannons. They got spit at the counter of restaurants. They got killed in order to attain some sort of equality, some sort of freedom within this country. And thanks to them, within a year of them winning the Civil Rights Act, the quotas for migrants of color were abolished. If it wasn't for African Americans literally putting their bodies on the line, you, migrant of color, would not be able to step foot into this country. And so I need you to understand that you should be extremely grateful, not only for the fact that they built this country, but for the fact that they won the freedoms that allow us to be able to be in this country and create a better life for ourselves. But that's not all. The other part that really frustrates me about this is that African Americans have been the cultural pallbearers for the entire globe for decades. And I'm talking about anywhere that you go in this world, you will encounter African American culture. Music, clothing, hair, anything, everything. Anything and everything that they come up with, you will find it in Spain, you will find it all across Europe, you will find it all across Asia. And what I find to be extremely frustrating, in line with the comment that Kai Cenat made, is that y'all will take their culture, enjoy their culture, turn around, and then not give credit where credit is due, and then look down and talk down on African Americans. And to me, that makes absolutely no sense. And I need you to understand that all the stereotypes that y'all like to heave upon African Americans, all the things that y'all claim y'all claim that they are ghetto and hood, which I have another rant about that and how y'all talk about ghetto and hood and all that stuff, but a different video. Y'all say that they're ghetto and they're hood and they're uneducated, whatever the hell the things that y'all claim they are. I would rather be all of those things than to be a liar, to be a thief, and to be a hypocrite. Because if you're taking their culture, lying about where it's coming from, and then continuing to enjoy it, you're a thief, you're a liar, and a hypocrite. And frankly, I'd rather be everything that you say African Americans are than to be those three things. And so if you're one of those people, whether you're here in the United States or you're a K-popper in Korea, I don't care. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. If you dare use anything that African Americans have created and then turn around and look down on them, whether that be culturally or even being able to be in this country, I need you to do better. I need you to do better. I need you to do better. I'm over this. I'm so tired of this. Like, do better.
I am making this video addressing the topic that is circulating online that said that African America do not have culture. As an African born, mingle with African America, they do have culture. Before I started, let's define what is culture. According to Google, Wikipedia, the dictionary, culture is the way of life of a group of people. It includes beliefs, values, custom, behavior, tradition, language, food, music, arts, and way of thinking and living. Since now you know the definition of culture, and the Black America culture is a mix of African, because they brought here, they were in African before, and American experience combined together. So that's their culture. So let's dive into the African American culture. Number one is the music. You might be like, oh, music is not culture. Yes, music is culture. I'm talking about gospel. I'm talking about soul music, hip hop, that most of our African musicians want to intimate. Like, they want to be Michael Jackson. They want to be Usher. They want to be Chris Brown. You see them? If I'm like, go check Personalist video by P Square and come back. The food, just like the way we have our staple food, we have all thousands of food since they're born in America, and since they have thousands of food here, but they have soul food. Soul food is Black American food. Just like the way we have jollof rice, the way we have cassava leaf, the way we get ogusi, all that one, that's the same thing they do. They have soul food. If you never taste soul food, then you should do it. The dancing too. They have their step dance. They got it. They are the one. And the Black vernacular is their way of communicate, which fall under language. They have the Black vernacular. The same thing, for example, now Nigeria have pidgin English when the whole country know pidgin English. The same thing when Sierra Leone have Creole. The whole country know Creole. So that's the Black America. They have their vernacular, the way they talk, the way they behave. You check it out. Juneteenth is their public holiday. It's their independent holiday. They also have Kwanzaa, the day after Christmas. That's their public holiday. Go Google it. All that part of beliefs, that's part of tradition. They have schools, oh. They have schools. They build their own school, the HBCUs. That most of the African, they even school there. They have school. Those are their schools. They build them from the ground, fund them to what they be today. And they started the hair movements, meaning they can wear their hair freely how they want. For us in Africa, we can wear it freely the way we want. You can see now my own wig. If I wear my own natural hair now, you guys will tell me that I'm dirty, oh, I'm broke, oh, you can't do this, oh. But if I wear wig now, when I say yes, they are the one they started this to express themselves how they feel through hair. You can see they wear their natural hair going to school. In Africa, you can't wear your natural hair going to school. They will ask you to braid it. Why do we know the mixed kids will wear their hair free? You see that with your own eyes. And then the LMA movement. That's the one I call the freedom fighter. They teach us how to stand up and fight the white people, the oppression. You see that? So all those ones are culture. So before you go there and say they do not have culture, please do your research. They do have culture. Like I said again, culture is the way of life of a group of people, which include beliefs, value, custom, behavior, tradition, language, food, music, and arts. So if you say for tradition, they have their tradition home. Just you have to mingle. If you spend time, go dance out. You will see that. For the tradition, when they do wedding, they do jump the broom. Just the way we put, palm wine in a cup or you carry the calabash. They do have it. That's their own. If you talk about, they stealing, they having in drugs people. In Africa too, we have the people that do smoke jamba, smoke igbo. We have the people in the ghetto now. We do. We have people in the ghetto. So what are you talking about? If you say, the baby mamas, Africa have baby mamas. You see that now? So what are you talking about? Just because they do it like this, they too, they have their beliefs. They are African American here that have it all. Educated, smart, married before they have children. They know God. They cook their food. So before you say something, you don't know zippy.
African Americans in this country are the only groups. They have no culture. It depends on who you meet, where you meet them.
But currently there's not an African American culture?
No.
Yes, there is.
What is it? Name 2 value systems in the African American culture.
Value system?
Yes. Name 2 taboos in the African American culture system. Name 2 traditions, by the way, in the African American culture system. There is no value for freedom if you don't understand what it is. The concept of free. You have to have a foundation on which it would balance when you ask for it. Civil right, they give it to you. You have no culture. Nancy, you've been here, born here. Why would you be surprised if I say African Americans don't have a culture?
Coming from someone that is uneducated, because I'm Nigerian, and the annoying parts or the shameful parts of this first clip I actually rolled out in my video is the fact that this guy is a Nigerian guy. So listening from his accents, you should know that this guy literally is uneducated. A lot of people tag education to where you can literally read and write, where you can literally go to office and work, get certificates. That's not someone being educated. Because if this guy was really literally educated, they would have been able to do a lot of research about Black Americans. So this guy have the audacity, he has the temerity, the effrontery to say Black Americans, one of their culture is giving birth to 3-4 children without a father, single women's life, pew-pewing. So it simply means this person is not even deep and rooted in the histories of America as a whole. Because if you check very well in the history of America, you will literally know that people that do the pew-pew, people that commit the atrocity, people that do a lot of things are literally not Black Americans. Honestly, when I heard this particular video, I was so disappointed. Like, I was so disappointed to the core. And that is why I can never support any Africans coming with this kind of nonchalant attitude, coming with this kind of barbaric mindsets. You don't want to understand the history or study the history of people. You just want to blab. How is Black American wanting to be the center of every single blacks? How? The fact that these people said they are going to be speaking out for themselves is not the problem. All these years that Black Americans have literally not said anything, nobody have any issue with that. But the moment Black Americans decide that we are going to define ourselves, we are going to make people understand we are Black Americans. We are not just an ordinary Black because we've gone through struggles. We've gone through segregation, Jim Crow, redlining. It's lynching, it's just a whole lot. Is now a very big issue to a lot of Africans, a lot of Jamaicans. They can't stand it. They are pained. They are pained, but you still them speak their English. Why not speak your cultural language that you know best? Why not make videos? Because from the sound of that guy should be an Igbo guy ish. So why not speak that language that you think you really have it as culture? Why attacking innocent people? I've never seen Black Americans coming up here to say, oh, we are the culture, we want to be the main center of everything. I've never. If you've seen that, please recommend me to that video because I have not. So I don't know where this aggression is coming from. I don't know where this pain is coming from. I don't know where the troubles are literally coming from. It's that bad that we that were supposed to be standing for each other, we that were supposed to be hugging each other, reminding each other that, oh, your struggles are not forgetting, are still the one biting one another. We still have the mindset to think to this point. I'm honestly disappointed. And I don't expect less from someone that is uneducated. I literally do not expect less from him. Honestly, that is why I keep saying it. If Black Americans have decided they don't want to stand for anybody, including Africans, please, they should freely go ahead and not stand for anybody because nobody got their back. Only them got themselves back. Let me know what you think. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.